How can your musical journey go from screaming to this? Well, I'd say with the power of friendship. And thanks to friendship, I have 3 good stories for you today. I feel like music is really special. Your musical taste doesn't only shape your character, but also gets shaped by it. If I check out my Spotify Wrap from last year, I listened to a stupid amount of music, statistically speaking, and I think I have some nice things to tell you. But how do you go about it as topic? Like, how do I explain you my musical journey and how people will touch my hearts and how it shows within my library? Do I show you my entire library? Do I go from the first to the last song? Do I go on random and just speak about some random songs? Do we genreify these things? Fuck genres, by the way. All my homies hate genres, we just love music. Well, I did find a way, and I have a little present for you at the end of the video. But first of all, story time. The way I went at with this was to take a look at Stats FM, which just connects to my Spotify, checks out my data, and we could check the top 100 songs and albums and genres of all time, at least on the stats that Stats FM can get. And maybe we can see some sort of pattern. So if we take a look at... oh God, what is this red blob? Okay, I have an album recommendation right from the start, as you can tell. It's the album Death of Peace of Mind, merchandise, hehe, from Bad Omens. It's definitely the album I listened to the most last year. It's a mix of really interesting, beautiful, clean vocals, incredibly hard, aggressive songs like Artificial Suicide. You can cry, artificial suicide. And just really interesting experimental type of songs, like Miracle is my favorite track from that album. But nevertheless, I'm fucking depressed. I hide it with sex and drink till it's fatal. It's so fucking painful. It's a mess. I think it's a really good way to get into metal. Also, the singer's pretty hot. Alright, now that the red blob is out of the statistics, if we take a look again, there is another blob. It doesn't matter whether I check the top tracks or top albums or top genres, it's always Bring Me the Horizon. Und Bruder, der Name ist Programm. They have a very special place at my heart, and I'd just like to tell you a little story, right? It's still intro time. I mentioned last time that I might not have the easiest time at school, especially in the interests that I have that nobody shared them with me. It felt like I was the only one who was into harder tracks, right? But as time went on, some of the other folks started to enjoy music. They were more into hardcore, some were into metalcore, and I was like, hey, that's a common topic we have. We could become friends, right? And I kind of found my clique. We kind of got along. But then there was this one evening, it was like a birthday party. We listened to a few metal tracks, and somebody just starts a new Taylor Swift album, I think. I defined myself pretty much about being a metalhead. That was like my personality type. And they were like, oh yeah, it's real good tunes, real good tunes. Like, you also like it, Andy, right? I'm like, also like it? I feel betrayed. And back then, I really enjoyed the album Sempiternal from Bring Me the Horizon. And just imagine, I really enjoy a band that sounded like this. Wake up, take my hand. But then they drop something like Drown. What doesn't destroy you, leaves you broken instead. And then they drop Medicine. I fondly remember listening to the album Amour while going to my university, and like I had 1 hour of commute. In the first hour I was like, oh my god, oh no, it's over for me and Bring Me the Horizon. I can never listen to them again. Oh my god, it's not what I expected. I turned it off and then I thought, no, give it another try. And I listened to it again, and honestly, it has become my favorite album like of all time. If you want to get into Bring Me the Horizon, listen to Amour. I think it's such an interesting mash of different ideas and feelings, and the lyrics are amazing. I really, really love it. Here's also 2 other album recommendations. If you just need tracks, listen to In the Dark, Kingslayer, and Doomed. Doomed specifically kind of inspired this tattoo, interestingly enough. Yeah, I'm that kind of an emo. Alright, that was the longest intro. I wanted to speak about friendships, right? Let me tell you other actual 3 stories about friendships. If we now check the filtered through stats page, there's an interesting subset of artists in there. In between the metal stuff, there is suddenly someone called Keizo, someone called Sullivan King, Phase 1, and Must Die. And these are in my most listened tracks thanks to my buddy Luki. One of my best friends, and the reason I moved places just to be a bit closer closer to him and other friends that I have here. And he, at his heart, is a person that just lives through and only listens to dubstep and drum and bass. Literally, his heart goes like boom, 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 boom. Well, my heartbeat doesn't go, it just breaks down. Like, obviously there's a great distance between our musical tastes. Like, I listen to the good shit, he listens to like, what is this, dubstep? What is it with Keizo? Why is Keizo interesting? Keizo is a dubstep DJ, but he's like an elder emo, right? He enjoys metal and everything surrounding it. So he makes dubstep, and he really likes people like Bless the Fall, for example, or Atreyu. And he just picks them, moves them over to his place, and they create a banger like this one. And you see where this is going, right? It's a person that combines two genres, meaning that I grew closer to Luki's music and I started to really enjoy and understand what's so interesting about dubstep, while Luki grew a lot closer to me in my music and understood what is interesting about metal. Which basically ended in us both going this year to Leipzig just to see Bad Omens together, but we also met Ghost Kid, who's a pretty chill dude. Der Protagonist. And us going for the second time in a row over to Blacklist Festival, which is a drum and bass dubstep festival, which is incredible. Honestly, if you have to pick a festival within Germany, go to Blacklist and get yourself balcony tickets. It is incredible. And also fun fact, like, dubstep and metal are really similar in their sound signature. It's music that really wants you to rhythmically go down and mosh and headbang. And if you listen to metal, you'll feel at home right there. Trust me, it's the same type of vibe you get, but people are a little more dancey with it, which I really enjoy. All right, that was one story. Let's take a look again at the Stats FM thing, and we'll see another subset of interesting artists that I really enjoy. They're a bit more experimental. There's some hip-hoppy stuff there, dancey stuff, partially rappy stuff. Which is interesting. If there's a genre I was sure I would never listen to, it's anything that has anything to do with rap. I don't know. I haven't ever found type of rap music that I enjoy. It's just not something I can get into. Not my type of deal. So I thought. Then I met Georgie. Georgie is like an ex-colleague of mine. By the way, like, your colleagues are the cooler friends, because you have 8 hours that you spend time with them each day, alright? Now we just have a regular friendship, although he does ghost me. Point being is, thanks to Bring Me the Horizon and thanks to Luki, I kinda learned that if I really want to get to know a person, I need to ask them about music, which is how, aside from Dark Souls and Hollow Knight, kinda how we got in touch at work. When we first showed our music back and forth, well, he wasn't that much into my music, I wasn't that much into his music, it was kind of a split, but as luck will have it, I just decided, hey, I wanna listen through the playlist that Spotify made for us, let's just go through it, and boy, Genesis Owusu. What an amazing experimental dude. He tries around so much and has such cool progressions and ways he goes off in his music.
Wasn't feeling it right. Always thought I was living a lie. Put my hand up on my heart. I beat my chest.
Michael Kiwanuka kind of became like a comfort place of mine. It's just when you know that you want to have a certain mood and just lay back and delve into your emotions, he got you covered. It's a really cool artist.
What makes you blind? I hope to find who I believe in. Get back in line, I can't deny myself. Show me the feeling.
He also showed me Jessie Ware, which is like, oh, Jessie Ware, man, she's hella good. These are artists that are somewhat well-known-ish, I'd say, but he showed me a new genre that I did not listen to, or several genres. What he also showed me was two people that he kinda knew personally, and that's where everything goes awry. Like, okay, I don't like rap, right? But what I really dislike is German rap. He showed me two artists, that I fell in love with. Honestly, just after a single year, both of them found their place in my top 100 artists within all my Spotify stats, and they absolutely deserve it. First of all, I want to shout out Scapster. Really small artist, it's a German one, and just, honestly, if you want a full-on experience of the fullest creativity that this dude has, just check out the Bastard Love Experience. It's a rather long music video that just leads you for an entire album or EP, I'm not sure. Thinking that he did all of this by himself and he just sometimes shows us behind the scenes how he does all of this stuff, and it's so interesting how creative he just is. His ideas, how he uses limitations creatively and interestingly, creates a whole new art style out of it. The Bachelor Love Experience is just an interesting way to start with it. But my 2 favorite tracks from him, well, let's say 3 favorite tracks from him, definitely Space, Wenn alles sich dreht, and I Can't Read. I love all of these. Why do I love Skepster so much? I think what he's incredible at is describing really complicated and convoluted feelings in simple lines. Something like, I've been depressed, I've had hard times. I talked about it several times by now. And there's a specific feeling when you finally get out of your rut, but while you've been there, you made friends in similar situations. And maybe you got out, but other people didn't, but you didn't have much contact. And when you meet up again, you're in a whole different subset in your world. You're feeling way better and see the world differently, but your friend does not. And you kind of forgot how to connect to the person, but you really still care. But there's this odd feeling between the two of you because you just don't match anymore and you don't know how to say it. 2 lines is all Skepster needs.
Du sagst, es ist zu viel in deinem Leben grad. Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie das ist. Ich schick dir Pics, wie's bei mir bergauf, auf geht. Doch glaub mir, ich denk an dich die ganze Zeit. Und du sagst, du brauchst Space.
And it's so delightfully simple and beautiful. I really love it. He's great. The second artist that Georgie showed me is Carriage. Interestingly enough, kind of the reason I'm doing this video. I guess he rigged the vote. Oh, and speaking of votes, here's the next 4 videos that you can vote for. Just write in your comment either the title or the letter or, I don't know, the number. There's something there. Just write it in your comment and your vote will be taken seriously. I don't care whether it's on YouTube, Insta, or Twitter, or a PM. I definitely care for it, so thanks for voting last time. Anyway, back to Carriage, really enjoy him. I started listening to him like exactly a year ago, and again, he's in the top 50 of my most heard artists, which just, I think, says something considering how much music I listen to on Spotify. And he also, I just feel like he has the chance to like really freaking grow. There is some specific interesting combination of ideas and sounds and the way he writes music that I just think he's so close to popping off and just something will happen. If you want some recommendation, boy, Swedish Bounce with his boy Lucid, really, pun intended, bouncy song. Really enjoy how it grows. It just, you can't not wiggle to it and just dance to it. It's really nice. Another track I really love is DMT, Dreams Manifestation, and whatever the T is, I don't remember. The kind of metaphysical vibe he has within his tracks, the way he progresses, how the way he speaks about his experiences of life in a really heightened language. I just really connect with the way he writes. There's also this one line in the song Genki Dama where he mentions that he colors his nails so they fit his outfit, and then he gets a comment from a homophobic dude. Oh my god, like, I do that, okay? And I really felt that. Definitely getting called out by homophobic people out on the street for like coloring my fingernails. By the way, I have spooky nails. I don't know if you can tell that. They're really spooky. I really felt that line. I really enjoyed it. Don't know, just vibe with him. He's cool.
Musizieren, lackieren mir meine Fingernägel, passen zu meinem Hoodie, catche später ein und kommen von einem homophoben Dulli, doch ich bleibe im
Breaking news! I now also have a friend that does music, and he just released his new track. And if a song starts like this, you know you're in for a banger. Do me a favor, it's right in the description, give him a listen, it's really good, and back to the video. Third and last story that I have for you is with me and my fiance. I mentioned her a few times already, but you know what? Let's go way back. We found ourselves on a dating app called Lovo. And in this app, you were able to add a tagline to your profile, alright? And the old romantic that I am, I wrote down, Metal is the only heartbeat that I need. Yeah, it's from League of Legends. Thank God she didn't know that. As we were writing and getting to know each other, we noticed that we have two things in common. We both like games and we both like metal. Only issue is that I dislike all of her games, and the type of metal she listens to I think is kind of whack, and the type of metal that I listen to she thinks also is kind of whack. But hey, we both like Zelda, so something in common. It's a start, right? I mean, it's holding up for 9 years now. So again, we're like polar opposites, right? But May is the person that I know now the longest, that I spent the most time in general with, right? That I had the most hardships with, that I experienced a lot with. And from being on two very, very separate ends of the spectrum to this incredibly high matching rate on Spotify, our interest in music almost became identical. It's not that what we listen day to day is identical, we still have our interests, but I love the music she finds and vice versa, and we love to share it. I think it's kind of a love language at this point. Sometimes we don't show ourselves tracks for a while, and then we just sit down at a table, had our lunch, talked about a few things, and I'm like, hey, I found a nice song, and she shows me 2 songs, and I show her an album, and then just 2 or 3 hours went by, and we show each other really cool music. And she showed me so many cool artists. First of all, that I really love, oh my god, listen to Breakins, his Hypochondriac album. It's amazing. Can I recommend a song for it? Please just listen to the album, just let the whole thing absorb you. It is the album that dropped last year that I still listen to. Tracks made me cry, tracks made me think about things in life, and I just really connect with the music. If you do need one track though, listen to Venus Flytrap. Or no. Maybe
behind the smile, I'm so pissed, but I won't be showing emotions.
listen to the whole album, okay? Another thing she showed me, which is just really cool and everybody loves it when I recommend it, is Grim Salvo. Which also, interestingly enough, I saw Grim Salvo and specifically this cover, and it was the first time that I listened to an artist and I knew who the visual artist is behind the album cover. It's Petis Banus, I don't know how to pronounce that. Really cool artist. Oh my god, the violence in his work and the raw emotion he captures. And this album with this music fits incredibly well. Definitely listen to their newest album, but also my favorite song from them is Ergot. It's incredible. Also interesting is that I hate ballads. I just don't like them, but it's from me coming from a rock or metal perspective where I just feel like they're forced, like, oh, you have your album, here's the one sad song. And I don't think most people in that scene that write ballads are that good. Maybe I just also don't like ballads. But May also showed me two artists. First of all, Bad Flower, which with Adolescent Love made an incredibly beautiful, really beautiful ballad that I genuinely felt with and that I enjoyed the text of. And through her, I kind of also connected with listening to Billie Eilish. And honestly, Happier Than Ever is a 10 out of 10. It's a magnificently crafted album. I love it. She's a great artist. I love her. Please just listen to Billie Eilish and everything else I recommended today. That was all of my free stories, but I did mention I have a little special gift for you, right? I did find a way to show you my musical journey is by creating my own playlist. It's a curated thing, starting from the day to day when I'm recording this, down to the very first song that I remember that I would still listen to today, right? And it's just a musical journey. And I can assure you, at least like in the upper third, you will definitely hear tracks that you have never heard before. There's going to be new stuff for you. It's going to be a wild ride through a lot of different genres, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be something for you. And I hope that's a cool gift and I hope that you enjoy it. What I want from you still is a little vote. Again, here's one of the 4 videos that you can pick out. Again, just write a name or the letter or the number, whatever, in the comment wherever you want, or PM me. I really appreciate the votes from last time. It's really cool to see the support, and yeah, that's it. See you until next time.